Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part today with me. For day 15, we're heading to Hollywood to talk about the number one team in the NL West, the Los Angeles Dodgers. They had a 162 record and a positive 207 run differential. Now, there were several individuals who led different categories, but one was head and shoulders above the rest, Freddie Freeman, as he did lead the team in at-bats, runs, hits, doubles, total bases, stolen bases, average, and on-base percentage. Now, Miguel Vargas did lead the team in triples, and Josh Outman led the team in strikeouts. Now, there were a few others that were led by Mookie Betts, who led home runs, RBIs, walks, slugging, and on-base plus slugging. So, I don't think we really need to talk a whole lot about some of the guys like Betts and like Mr. Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, because we know they're good. We don't need to touch on Ohtani because we know he's good. So let's talk about some of the other guys that are interesting or guys that, you can target middle to late in the draft because the other guys are going to be going very, very quickly. First of all, Josh Outman, he had a great rookie season. He batted .248 with 86 runs, 23 home runs, 70 RBI, 60 stolen bases. He did also have 68 walks, but led the team in strikeouts with 181. So that's not great. However, he shows that he is a threat on the base paths as well as has power. And if he can increase his walks and decrease his strikeouts, this man will be a great asset for the Dodgers. Another great Dodger outfielder. Now, he's going to need to improve, especially with some of the injuries that have occurred, in some of the changes that have had to been made in the outfield. And we'll get to some of the changes in the infield. But in any case, Josh Outman, great rookie. I had him on one of my teams last year and released him, and now I feel silly and feel very bad. In any case, another man that is interesting that confuses me is Max Muncy. He can't hit the broadside of a barn, but he can walk like crazy. He also strikes out a lot, but he can walk like crazy. But this man just mashes home runs and strikes out. It confuses me because he's revered as one of the best third basemen, and he's like an upgrade to Chris Davis. It's either you're going to strike out or you're going to hit the ball a long ways. And that's Max Muncy. But in any case, we're going to move to second base now because, as you know, last year in 2022, Gavin Lux tore his ACL, was out for the season. Well, he played shortstop. Okay, I get that. However, this past year, Mookie Betts was outfielder and also played second base to kind of help with that infield because there were several utility guys. Well, as of this week, Mookie Betts is moving over to short. Lux is going to second because of his essentially slow to recover pace because he's not there defensively and struggling to make throws from shortstop. So there we go. Now, last year at second base, it was bad. So I'm not saying Lux isn't going to get the position, but I'm saying he's got a little bit of competition. Not a whole lot, but we're going to go through it. Miguel Rojas was pegged as the guy to start when Lux went down. And he did decently. He did well, but he just didn't have enough pop in his bat. He only had 5 home runs, and he had no stolen bases. Chris Taylor, eligible to play at second, short, third, outfield. Could probably play first if Freddie Freeman wasn't there. But in any case, very versatile. So, yes, he could play second and did play second sometimes, but he's not the guy you want there. But he does have good pop and does have pretty good speed. But he has batting average 212. So it's a tad better than Max Muncy. So, in any case, another guy, Miguel Vargas. Everyone was super excited about him in spring training because he had so many walks. Well, there was a period of time when he was not allowed to swing the bat. That probably helped in that high number of walks and very few strikeouts. You know what I'm saying? So he did lead the team in triples, so he's got a little bit of speed, but he absolutely did not show his ability, we'll say that, because he was batting 195 with the big league club. So he may very well get another chance this year, but I went in on him on several drafts last year, and obviously didn't work out. Another guy, Kike Hernandez. He was supposed to be gone, and now they brought him back, and I think he went over to Boston or something. So anyway, he's back, versatile guy, but still not a whole lot of pop. Not a whole lot of stolen bases, but very versatile. And the last guy we're talking about, Kolten Wong. Yeah, we talked about him before, but we're going to talk about him again just because of how disappointing he was. He's not going to be the answer at second base. Now, I know Lux was a shortstop and now moving into second, and now Mookie is moving from second to shortstop. So, obviously, Mookie's not going to have much competition. However, by him moving in, that's going to have some more options on the outfield. Right now, it is supposed to be Teoscar Hernandez, who's a new addition, Outman in center, and then Mr. Jason Hayward. That's his name. Woo, blanked on it. I don't know. I wanted to say Charles Hayward. But Jason Hayward, former Brave great, very highly touted prospect. I remember I was in grad school when he was just supposed to be this big name. But in any case, yeah, he is going to be in the outfield. So there's some options that the Dodgers have out there because they can put Kike, they can put Chris Taylor. So definitely have some options. They have some guys on the bench too. But here's the thing. We don't need to talk about anyone else offensively because Freddie's good, Ohtani's good, Teoscar and Muncy are going to mash, but they're going to strike out. That's it. So now let's move to the pitching. Now, there's not a whole lot to talk about when it comes to pitching other than Clayton Kershaw led everything. The holds went to Brusdar Graterol. There were 5 guys with double-digit holds for the Dodgers. Now, you're going to say, oh, it was bad for the Diamondbacks, but good for the Dodgers. Yeah, I'll explain in a second because the saves leader was Evan Phillips with 24. The next closest to him had 7. Therefore, when you're winning 100 games, you need several guys to set up for you, but also to get some saves because Evan Phillips probably got tired after pitching so many times in the season. There were several guys from the bullpen who had more innings pitched than starters. So that is how much work the bullpen got. Not because the pitchers weren't going far in games. I mean, some of them weren't because they did have some bullpen games. But the point was there were so many secondary guys coming in from the bullpen that they racked up the innings, racked up the hold. So that's why. Someone I do want to talk about who did go into games, Bobby Miller. This fella, holy cow. His rookie year, he started 22 games. He won 11, and 10 of them were quality starts. So you're almost guaranteed a win if Bobby Miller goes 6 and gives up 3 or less runs. So that's great. However, he's absolutely going to need to improve only because of some of the injuries. We're going to talk about the injuries. However, his rookie year, 124 innings pitched, 119 strikeouts, 32 walks. That's pretty good. 3.76 ERA and a 1.1 whip. If he could duplicate that, he is going to be nasty for this rotation, and he's going to need to be because of the injuries. Someone who I'm glad is not going to be in the rotation, not because of ill will, but because I don't think he's good enough to be in the rotation, and it was strictly based off luck. Very similar to Tyler Anderson, Tom Gonsolin. 2022 had Tom Gonsolin winning 16 games, losing 1, pitching to a 2.14 ERA with a sub-1 whip. That sounds great, but he's not that guy. Because this past year, he pitched to an ERA that was 4.98 and a whip that was 1.2 plus. That's not good, okay? So he definitely benefited from that loaded Dodgers lineup. Now, he's going to be out all of 2024 and probably into 2025, having Tommy John surgery. So, again, not anything against him, but he's not the guy. He is not a 16-win guy. Another guy that might be in the rotation is Mitch Grove. Mitch Grove doubled his stats from 2022 to 2023. Doubled his starts and didn't really show a whole lot except for regression. So his ERA jumped up to 6+. His whip jumped up to like 1.5. He did have 3 times as many strikeouts and only added 9 more walks while doubling his pitches or his innings pitched. So that's something to think about, something to, at least feed on if you're looking for a late innings pitcher. Now, he's absolutely going to have to improve if he wants to be in this rotation, as will Ryan Yarbrough, who I also want to talk about because he was really good as a setup guy in the Tampa Bay bullpen in the Tampa Bay organization. And then he went to Kansas City. You didn't hear a lot about him because it's Kansas City. But when he went to Dodgers, he continued with that setup role, and I definitely think unless they're going to try to stretch him out as an actual starter, he would benefit so much from another opener / secondary starter. Now, both of these guys, Stone and Yarbrough, are going to have to step up because Clayton Kershaw is out until July after offseason surgery. You have James Paxton. You brought him in, and he's always injured. Walker Buehler, not sure when he's going to be able to go, coming off injury. A few other guys, Dustin May, 60-day DL, not sure when he's going to be back. Emmett Sheehan went on the IL this past week, and who knows how long that's going to be. We talked about Gonsolin a little bit. And then it's one of those situations where you got to grow up fast. Yes, he's got 2 years under his belt, but is he going to be able to handle that high pressure moment where we can't take you out because we don't have other pitchers? We have to leave you in. This is maybe a fifth day. We've utilized our bullpen. You got to fight through it. So hopefully they'll be able to do that. Really, that's all I have to say about the pitching because they have newly acquired Tyler Glasnow. He's going to do great. They have Yoshi, as they have dubbed him, Yoshinobu. Yoshi. We'll just stick with that. Newly acquired. He did great first outing, started some new pitches. His second outing, got shelled, and was like, oh, he's so bad, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he'll be fine. At least I hope, because I drafted him in one of my leagues. But anyway, point being, the additions talked about Glasnow, talked about Yoshi, talked about Paxton, also talked about Teoscar Hernandez and Ohtani. Yeah, some guy named Ohtani. Hopefully he pans out. Now the guys they lost. Some of these guys will absolutely be missed. One of them, Ryan Pepiot. This guy went to another organization that is absolutely going to get the most out of him, Tampa Bay. I'm excited for that because I think he's a pretty good pitcher. They also lost Lance Lynn. Now I like Lance Lynn. He's a big fella. He's going to throw strikes. May not always do the very best to locate the pitches so the hitter can't hit them, but he's going to throw some strikes. JD Martinez, man, this guy could bash. He really could, but we'll see how that goes. And then in that trade to get Mr. Tyler Glasnow, they traded away Johnny DeLuca. Johnny DeLuca was number 13 in their prospect pool, and there may very well be room for him in Tampa Bay's outfield this year. So hopefully that will be something we can look forward to and kind of compare, very similar to what we did with Lourdes Gurriel, Gabriel Moreno, and Mr. Dalton Varsho. But anyway, that does it for the Dodgers. They're probably going to choke again if they make it or when they make it to the playoffs. So that means we're going to be moving to the NL Central to talk about the St. Louis Cardinals tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you, and I hope to hear from you in the comments. Let me know. Do you like what I'm doing? We're halfway through. We got 15 days left, so you only have to listen to me for 15 more days. So talk about these teams. Anyway, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. This is JK, and I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.